Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We thank you so much for paying all the attention to our work, programs, news, and all that. And warmly, I welcome you to this week's edition of One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Like I said, the political season is taking most of our attention because we have to put a platform for those who want the different offices, and you, the voter. This is the best platform to connect you, to get to know what plans they have vis-a-vis what you yearn for as the voter. Now, we are going to talk about northern Uganda, but particularly Oyam district. We're going to talk to a lady that won the NRM flag to contest on their behalf, to bring them victory in the parliamentary election for the woman MP seat of that district. What exactly is Oyam, the status of the district, and what kind of plans or ideas does she come with in this kind of position? Who is she anyway? All that here. Besides, we know that kind of area as a cutout for the UPC. As an NRM person, has she tested the waters, and is she ready to work with the UPC people that are in the area? All that in this discussion. My guest is Honorable Jane Francis Acilo. She is the NRM official candidate for the woman MP seat, Oyam district. Yes, you're most welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you very much for having me.
Congratulations on winning the flag.
Thank you very much.
How was that journey? Because we covered it, it wasn't a joke for whoever was in it. Yeah. How was it?
It was quite an intense journey for me, being that this is my first time running for such a political elective position. So obviously, along with any new experiences, it doesn't come easy. And especially given the fact that I'm going into this area which has an incumbent of 15 years. I'm trying to get the flag for the party, and I'm the new face in the district. So there was a lot of things to contend with, but God is good. We are here so many months later, and I'm here sitting as the flag bearer for NRM Woman MP.
There was a lot of belief that whoever won must have invested in a lot of money. You must have bribed whoever, ferry the voters, pay, so on. So how was it in your kind of victory?
Yes, actually I won with a 88% margin with 69,000 votes in the primaries. NRM in Oyam has about 100,000 registered voters. So that was quite a good landslide for me as a newcomer. Money was not a factor for me. Much as I'm new in the political scene in Oyam, I'm not really new in Oyam. I've had presence in Oyam for many years. I have a farm which I've been running there for almost the last 10 years, and I have a home there. So I run the biggest commercial farm in Oyam district, and through that I have been engaging locally with different communities, especially those closer to the farm. And my community engagements and some of the strategies that I applied during the primaries, which was centered mostly on community service, towards community service. When we talk about things like maize, distributing maize seeds that are good to the people, this was made possible because I have presence with a commercial farm in that area. And given my experience as a commercial farmer, it was easy for me to identify a variety of maize, distribute it at the right time. And I think it also played a very key part and a key role in helping towards my victory.
How would you describe the district? What kind of observation do you make of Oyam as a district? Good enough, you have told me you're not a new person in the district. You have been there, you're working there. What do you make of Oyam?
Oyam as a district is the second largest district in the country. It's quite large. We have 16 sub-counties, especially in the role of woman MP, where you cut across the whole district and not in constituencies. when you compare that with certain other districts in Uganda that have maybe 5, 6, 8 sub-counties.
These are 16?
Yes, this one has 16. We have a population of over 500,000 people, half a million people living in Oyam. So it's quite a large district, population-wise and even geographically. So that's quite a challenge for any person who wants to be in a leadership position in Oyam. In the recent history of Oyam, as part of the broader northern Uganda, coming out of the LRA insurgency, which happened for 20 years and ended around 2007. I think it happened from around 1987 to 2007. So there was a massive displacement of people in northern Uganda. Oyam was one of the districts affected. So many people were in IDP camps at the time. So with the carving out of Oyam district, after the war, a lot of people were relocated to Oyam district. So Oyam district has also played a very key role in rebuilding the society in northern Uganda.
Itself, it's a district that is rebuilding from the insurgency effects.
And many of the people even there have come from, were relocated there also as well from the IDP camps. So it has been very key in that process. Restoring stability in the region, and this is one of the things that makes Oyam district a very interesting district, because when you're coming off such a long period of instability, there are so many things that need to be done to reestablish a society to be able to function in a way that is acceptable, you know. But also Oyam has a very vibrant and young population. When you look at it, over 50% of the people in Oyam are below the age of 18. Those are the statistics. So what does this say for Oyam? We have a very big need to engage the youth in whatever we are doing as leaders, because tomorrow then they're the ones who are supposed to take over for the development of this district. So in any conversation that we are having as leaders, we cannot keep out the youth.
They must be at the forefront of everyone's to-do list.
Yes, they must be at the forefront. Also, Oyam is interesting in that most of the households are being led by the women. It can also be attributed to the war, because you'll find the women are bearing a lot of the burden of taking care of their households, and the men are there as well, but they're not as actively involved. Another reason for this would be, after the war, we had a lot of NGOs that came up in the area, and there were a lot of programs that were put across the district and the Laon region to empower women, to empower the girl child. So there was a very big drive, you know, towards empowerment. So the challenge of that and what we have now is a population where the girls are empowered, you know. There's always, you know, a skilling program here, an educational grant there, and the same focus was not put so much on the men and the boys. So 20 some
girl child empowerment initiatives
later,
are so many.
You have a population where the women are more empowered than the men. So we also need to look at that, because it leads to issues like domestic violence and other social issues. So we as leaders, if we don't look into how we can uplift the male child, you know, the male population of Oyam, so that society can grow, you know, at an equal level, we would be missing a very key component.
You talked about the war, and that is actually part of the district's identity. There is a war of 20 years in its district. Are these stories still so lively in the lives of the people? Do they still talk about how they suffered? Do they still base on what happened to them? to determine how they are living today?
The stories are not as much, I would say. However, it is still a big part of the identity, because we do have historical sites within Oyam where a lot of things happened.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of awareness of some of the things that happen in some of the areas in Oyam.
Okay.
For example, in one of the sub-counties we have called Abok, we have a site where there was a massacre that happened. It's different from Aboke. I know most people know the Aboke.
Yes.
Yeah. In Oyam, it's Abok. So these things are very important to the people of Oyam, and the awareness is really not there publicly, even for the rest of Ugandans, and it does drive certain decisions and the way that they run their lives, because they have these memories. And remember also that some of them were brought in and relocated to Oyam from the IDP camps.
Okay.
So there is that identity. Some of these people might have grown up, were born in the IDP camps.
During the time of the war?
Yes. 20 years later, then they relocate you to this place. So it is something that we cannot ignore.
What observation do you have about the healing process so many years after the war?
Yeah.
Are we moving towards the positive, or some people are still stuck in the pain?
No, we're definitely moving towards the positive. The healing process, I would say, has been good. Government, some of the government programs was relocation, for example. That is how people are relocated to Oyam. And through government and their partners and different projects, people are where they are now.
Okay.
You know, we're starting to develop. However, we do need to catch up with the rest of the country. We are lagging behind a bit. When you look at the poverty levels in Oyam,
yes,
we are at 75%, and compared to the national average, which is 45%, it shows that we're almost double at the poverty rate.
Yep.
So before we can even go too far into development, we need to catch up with the rest of the country. And then when you look at the sheer size as well of the district, some of the allocations of resources might not be adequate given the size of the district and the unique challenges of Oyam. But in a general sense, the healing process is good. People are living well together.
Okay.
But we're still growing.
Okay.
And we're now at a point where the conversation can change to, development.
You talked of poverty.
Yeah.
As a social problem.
Yes.
What do you think could explain this? Should we take it back to the war that we have talked about and its impacts? Is it? Many people think whoever is poor is lazy. Should we blame anyone for being lazy? Should we say, somebody was telling me, some of our rural districts, somebody can have 7 acres of land and it's all a bush and it's just there seated. Are people not hardworking? Is it an impact of the war? Is it social services that are not embarking on the efforts they are taking on? What do you think, with the time you have been in Oyam, to a level of somebody that wants to be even their leader?
Yeah.
What could be your view?
It's not a problem of, being lazy. On the contrary, some of the most hardworking people I've met are in Oyam district.
Okay.
However, when you look at a population, in the population of 500,000 people, over 500,000 people, 80% of us are subsistence farmers. Okay. Farming is the main economic activity in Oyam. It is what people know. It is what people do day to day. And we cannot run away from that.
Just like everywhere in Uganda.
Just like everywhere in Uganda.
Yes.
However, doing it at a subsistence level
keeps you at the same level.
At a certain level and not growing as much as if you were doing it commercially. Keeping in mind that our interest here is to catch up with the rest of the country. We have already lost 20 years of development. So we cannot be moving at the same pace, because we need to catch up, and then now we move with the rest of the country.
Yeah.
So what I would say is causing this poverty in Oyam is,
to an extent of 75%,
yes,
doubling the national figure.
Yes, to an extent of 75%. There's a couple of challenges in the different sectors, you know, whether we're talking about agriculture, infrastructure that we have, or we have health challenges within the health sector in Oyam district, and also in the education sector. When it comes to agriculture, the main crops we grow there are millet, cassava, beans, maybe soya. These are short-term crops, and they're not really high-value crops, if you say this. So we need some initiatives to introduce some high-value crops to the people of Oyam so that they can even start to gain a little bit more from all the work and the effort that they're putting into. But also we have challenges like limited access to modern farming tools, inputs like fertilizers. They're not easily and they're not readily available. And where you do find them, the prices are a bit up, where most of the people
may not
be able to afford them. Actually, only about 45% of the farmers can have access to improved seeds. And given 500,000 people, you can imagine that would marginalize people a bit, and that is one of the causes of poverty. So if we can improve some of these challenges within the agricultural sector, it would go a long way, because once people have income in their households, they're able to take care of a lot of things and a lot of their needs. Infrastructure-wise, only about 30% of the roads in Oyam are tarmacked. This again shows you a challenge.
Even if somebody struggles and gets some produce,
I will give you
taking it to the market.
Yes, even personal example, me being a commercial farmer, it's a challenge if the roads and the road infrastructure is not good. As a farmer, by the time you get to the market, you've lost produce, you know. You've toiled so hard, worked so hard, you've lost produce, you're not getting at a good price because of the infrastructure. It hampers trade and also access to good and big markets. So sometimes you'll find people coming to take advantage of these farmers because they're not exposed. So someone will come to you with your little few sacks or whatever, and they'll give you a price that is not what you should be getting if you're able to go to the bigger markets. Then electricity access as infrastructure, also only 20% of the district. Of the district is connected to the power grid. This is a very concerning figure for me as a potential leader, because right there we have in Oyam, we have the Karuma Dam, which is probably the biggest dam, you know, not just in Uganda, but even East Africa. I think it's 600 megawatts, of power. But is it being utilized by our people who are right next to it? As a leader, how can we make sure that our people have access to this
benefit from what
and benefit
is in
from
their
this
land.
resource that is in their land, that is helping so many people around? This would open up a lot of doors for the people of Oyam, even the youth, even the women, even the men, because access to electricity means access to new opportunities, new jobs.
So these are the challenges that could be keeping people in one level, stagnating there in poverty. Yet if they had been opened some infrastructure, electricity, at least in every town, somebody will open a saloon, another one will. I was reading about Oyam, and it is among those districts ranked highly when it comes to early marriages, early pregnancies of young girls, and things like that. Don't this kind of way of living also affect growth of the people in an area?
100% it does, because you cannot have a society where you have early pregnancies and early child marriages, you know, and expect that society to develop so fast. And for me, I believe this is an education problem, I believe that this problem stems from the education sector, which if we did some improvements, we would be able to curtail that. We have a literacy rate in Oyam of about 65%, with obviously the females are lower. they're in their literacy levels than the males, but also the dropout rate of school is quite high, at 25%, and it's mostly for the girls. So you'll find when at primary school level, enrollment is high. People are enrolling their children to school. However, by the time they finish primary school, only 25% make it to the secondary level. Most of the girls will start dropping out before they even finish P7 because they're going to get married. And taking it back to the poverty issue, sometimes
parent thinks I cannot afford beyond P7.
Yes, I can't afford beyond P7. Maybe I go get married and get some cows or some dowry to help or I just drop out of school to go help my parents in the farm, that kind of thing. So
actually, the same factors like everywhere in Uganda.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So we need to be able to improve some of even the school infrastructures. You know, there's not a lot of good access to studying materials. The classrooms, adequate classrooms. Some people are studying under the trees. Qualified teachers, you know, the teacher to student ratios are not very good, but even the quality of the teachers and the education that we're giving our children, yes, it's there, we have the UPE schools, but as leaders, how are we ensuring that we have the right people that are teaching the
give
right
the
things?
service?
Yeah, to even increase the literacy levels, because someone will go through school and come out and not be able to read still.
You see, all our areas in this country have uniform challenges, but still you find people that manage to make it and come out.
Exactly.
Let's take the example of Oyam. How do people like you manage to escape or jump out of all these challenges and shine and even think about going back to pull others?
Leaders, let me call on the leaders. Some of these opportunities, it's people like me who have to give a hand to the rest to pull them up. As a leader, I cannot sit here and talk about education when I'm not leading by example and maybe ensuring that I am taking care of the school fees of 1 or 2 or 3 people.
True.
But if more people who have made it in Oyam can also come up, and other leaders, and support the rest and pull the rest up, this is what helps. And if you'll find most of the people that have succeeded within Oyam, they have a story to tell of how somebody supported them, how somebody did this for them and pushed them to the next level. So it's, you know, one person helps another. It's a ripple effect.
Throwing a ladder for others
Yes, it's
to get
throwing a ladder for others. For me, I grew up attending a lot of community events with my late mother. She was also a doctor. However, she used to make a point of going into the community, talking to girls, taking me with her, and even me talking to the girls at my young age. And being exposed to such opens their minds to them, for them to even know that I am actually able to do that. I can actually be a doctor. You'll find many of the girls think I can only be a nurse. Maybe they only aspire to be a nurse. But then a female...
Not until somebody motivates them.
Not until a female doctor comes and they're like, wow, this is actually possible.
Thank you so much, Jane Francis. Let's take a short break.
Do you hear it? Do you see it?
In Uganda, Tanzania.
That's the sound of business in a developing economy.
For UBC News,
Charlotte Amuge in Kampala.
Catch the weekly business roundup every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. only on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
Every marriage has 100% chances of succeeding. You know why? Because God created marriage, and God never creates failure, and God never designs anything to fail. Every marriage has 100% chances of succeeding. Is your marriage struggling and you're wondering whether it will ever succeed, whether you will ever make it, whether it's even worth holding on to, you got to tune into Unlocking Marital Bliss. Because right here, we provide the keys to unlock the bliss in your marriage, and you will be able to succeed. We've had testimonies, and lives are changing day by day.
Marriage must be a discipline. It must not be handled like a casual thing.
As women, when we have the outward expression, even our form of respect is tied to the outward things that you do.
Some women now have working class. They don't know how to handle their husbands because the marriage was has become like question and answer marriage. Do you have any tea? Don't you have hands to prepare it? Why have you come back late? Did I take your blanket? It's question and answer marriage.
Not any other place, but every Sunday, 3 p.m. right here at UBC with the one and only Cyrus Rod, not any other. Unlocking Marital Bliss.
UBC One-on-One, thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. We are talking to the woman MP aspirant for Oyam district on the NRM ticket. Her name is Jane Francis Acilo, and she won the flag. She wants to get to parliament. So, welcome back from the break.
Thank you.
Now, we have talked about a number of challenges, but all these we know that there are initiatives that try to touch these very challenges. We talked of poverty. Let's start with that because it's the most biting. Actually, it gives birth to many of these other challenges. We have currently the PDM running. We've had the Myoga. We've had youth livelihood something from government. Women entrepreneurship program from the Ministry of Gender. There was once, there are a number of them.
Yes.
Have they touched poverty in Oyam?
Definitely. These programs are very key and have touched the people of Oyam. When you look at PDM, which I believe is the most recent and is very dear to the president's heart right now, it has reached a lot of people in Oyam. I've personally interacted with a number of people.
Beneficiaries?
Yeah, beneficiaries. Some of them have started, you know, their circles with the money, and they've decided to pool their resources and work as a group, and these groups I've noticed are doing very well, even better than the ones who receive it and do it individually. The government programs are there. The government programs are good. I cannot sit here and say it is without its challenges. However, that is where leaders and people like me come in to bridge the gap between those challenges. When you look at most of these NRM programs, and even our president, he's someone who has people at heart. So he would always want to put programs that directly affect the people. And I think you will notice this consistently in the different types of programs that he rolls out. So these programs are touching the people. They're doing very well on the ground. And even funny enough, recently at the nomination of the incumbent, she mentioned about PDM and how she wants to continue advocating for PDM. But to that, I would even say who would be better placed to run a government program than a government candidate, you know, an NRM candidate. But
a member of the party in power.
Yes, a member of the party. So but it goes to show you that these programs can be appreciated across board, regardless of your political affiliation. And that is where these programs really make a difference for the people of Oyam.
We have the UPE running. Personally, I think UPE started when I was in my early primary school days.
Yes.
Up to now, there is the USE. There are, should I call them scholarships, government sponsorships at university. Yes. And the universities are now so many. There's one in Gulu, just a few kilometers from Oyam. Have these programs of government still made an advance in as far as changing the situation is concerned in the line of education?
Yes, yes, they have. You cannot sit and say they have not, because without those programs like UPE, USE, most of these people would not be in school at all.
Okay.
So we start from there. The purpose of UPE is to ensure that, you know, every student, every person in Uganda has a basic level of education, which is funded by the government. And that is a very good program. Again, like I said, not without its challenges, but these challenges, depending on the leaders you have, they are worked on as they come.
What do you think are the challenges with the UPE?
The infrastructure in some of the schools, like I said, the numbers, the sheer numbers of the people. In the case of Oyam, being a very highly populated area with over 500,000 people, it's the same government schools where everyone will send their children to. So you'll find where people have to sit under the trees. Maybe the materials are not enough, and like I had even mentioned earlier,
yes,
the quality of the teachers, you know, even the student-teacher ratios that we are getting. So these are some of the challenges. But like I said, these can be improved with the right leadership in place to advocate for certain things and to make sure that certain resources actually reach the people and where they're supposed to.
Here you come with the ruling party's flag.
Yes.
God willing, if it wins power again, come 2026,
yes,
you will be a member of the ruling party. And God willing, you get to parliament.
Yes.
What kind of ideas do you come in with to see to a change of all the gaps that we have looked at? The persistent poverty and those challenges that give birth to it. The issues in the health sector and education sector, those core social services. What kind of ideas do you come with on board?
So
for the good of your party and the district as well.
My entire campaign is running with a message of Nyayolonyo Ichingutedera. That's Leblanc, but in English, basically it means creating grassroots income through agriculture initiatives, through health initiatives, through education initiatives. And in each of these, I have particular ideas that I believe would uplift the people at household level so that they are able to go to the hospital and pay for whatever they need to do, so that they are able to pay school fees for their children to move on to the next level, you know, from primary. And poverty is the most thing that we have to look at here, because all these other things can be solved when the people have some money in their pocket. When it comes to education, I am very much interested in the people of Oyam, our students in Oyam, going to school with the idea of becoming job creators as opposed to job seekers. I really want to have a mindset change in even the students, not just in Oyam, but even northern Uganda, even Uganda as a whole, but Oyam in particular, because where we need to catch up with the rest of the country, we cannot do that if we are not being proactive, if we are not taking accountability, if we're not the ones doing the most for ourselves. I always tell my people that, you know, no one is going to come from out there to help us. We have to help ourselves. How are we going to do that? We're going to train our children, we're going to send them to school. For me, I'll go and advocate and make sure the books are in the
because
schools,
I was going to ask you.
Things are there. However,
yes.
We have to work together with the parents, with everyone, to make sure, so that encourage our children. After school, what are you doing? Come back home and start something here.
I was going to ask you, and indeed I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
You talk of household, an uplift of household incomes.
Yes.
That is everybody's desire.
Yes.
That is what government is singing.
Yes.
That is what everybody is looking at. But many people say it and it remains there.
Yes.
What kind of practical measure or idea are you coming up with for somebody watching you in Oyam? How are you going to touch their kind of money-making ventures to ensure that they have money in their houses? What plans are you coming with?
The very first thing is through agriculture, which I already demonstrated by identifying good seed, which is one of the challenges.
Yes.
If you're a leader who doesn't understand farming, you might have an idea of good seeds. People need good seeds, but how do you identify those seeds if you don't know much about farming? Being a commercial farmer, I'm very well placed to understand unique challenges that farmers go through. And I have gone through those challenges myself, but I have gone through them so my people don't have to go through those challenges.
Okay.
And I demonstrated this by, in the primary elections, by this distribution of maize seeds that I did. And I distributed 150,000 kilos, actually, of seeds all across Oyam. I was giving 1 kilo per household. But from that 1 kilo per household, at the end of the season, the average number of bags that each household was getting was 7, 8 bags, because it's a good variety. It's a good seed. It was given at the right time. It grew. So from 1 kilo, you've gotten 8 bags. So what we are going to do now is help each other as a community. You've gotten 8 bags. Why don't you distribute to your neighbor who didn't get that 1 kilo? 1 bag. And this seed that I've given is also replantable. So you're going to now replant the next bags.
Okay.
So the very first place where we can look is in agriculture and farming, because that is what 80% of our people know, and that is what they do. So when we have these kind of initiatives, then after that you find for them market, a good market.
Where to sell their produce.
Where to sell this produce, because you can have the produce, you have a bumper harvest, but you have no market.
Let's look at
a
education.
leader like me comes in. I am able to go and negotiate on behalf of my people and say, okay, I have distributed 150,000 tons of seeds. This is what I have, you know. They have planted it over 2 seasons, so it has magnified by this. Why don't you come and buy seed from my people?
Will you put up stores?
Yes. Then we can put up stores. Then you can work with government to put up storage.
Okay.
Once you identify these kind of challenges, then now my role is to work with the government, advocate for these things that make the people's lives easier.
Look at education.
Yes.
What practical touch are you coming in with?
When in education, what I have done so far personally is I identified the top performers in PLE after realizing that there's a challenge of people transitioning to secondary school.
Yes.
And in Oyam, interestingly, this year we only had 35 students in the whole of Oyam that had a first grade. That shows you how bad the situation. And of those 35, many of them could not even afford to go to secondary school. So
they had the good grades?
Yes, they have a good grade.
But stranded?
Yes, they're stranded. So I've taken on 6 of them. The rest, I just appreciated them. But I am also, through my foundation, I have a foundation. It's called the Acilo Foundation. And in that foundation, I have an education grant where I have partners that support students. And through programs like that, you can be able to identify brilliant students within Oyam, you know, people who have a lot of potential, and you help them to develop their potential.
Because I was wondering,
yes,
you are an MP, as far as we know, Parliament only has your allowances and salary.
Yes.
Where will you get a budget to facilitate these practical programs that you're talking about?
You have to.
Won't you make promises that will make you look bad at the end of the term?
No, you have to be practical. At the end of the day, for me, I believe that leadership, it's a calling to service.
Okay.
I'm not someone that is new to service. Others might argue that I'm new to politics, but you have to start from somewhere. But that background that I have in service, I've served through organizations like Rotary. It has exposed me to dealing with different kinds of communities, and these problems, like you're saying, they cut across. They're not new, but there are solutions to these problems. And when you talk about service as a leader, you have to be able to give. You cannot be a good leader if you're not a giver. That's, for me, something that I strongly believe in.
You must be ready.
You must be ready
to sacrifice.
To sacrifice. And it can be monetary, it can be using your connections that you have. For me, in education terms, it's through my connections of my foundation. Through this education grant, I am able to do something. Whether or not I make it at the end of the day, I would have impacted. I will impact a lot of lives within Oyam. So it's being able to think outside of the box. Sometimes I believe as politicians, we get stuck in certain ways of doing things and not think of new ways to tackle old problems.
Social problems.
Yes, but we have to think outside the box. You know, we have to also put in our 2 cents. We work together with the government.
Oyam is in a region that is known as the cutoff of the UPC.
Yes.
That is its historical grassroots because of the relationship with the late President Milton Obote and his history in as far as Uganda is concerned. And this is a region known as their stronghold. You are standing against an MP that has been there on that very ticket of the stronghold party for 15 years.
Yes.
What magic are you coming in with to take this seat for the NRM?
I wouldn't call it magic. I would call it God's grace for once, for one thing. But yes, Oyam is historically a UPC stronghold, and so is the Lao region.
Yes.
We all know Dr. Milton Obote to be the founding father, you know, of Uganda. He came in as the first prime minister after we got independence. He was a president twice, I think 1966, if my history
First prime minister 1962.
Yeah,
1971
or 71. 66 to 71.
66 to 71.
I think.
That's when he became president. Yes.
Yeah.
Then 1980, 85. Yes.
Yes, he was president again. So this is a big political figure to the people of Lao, and it's a big factor. There's a lot of loyalty, and in the Lao region, we are very loyal people. For lack of a better word, I'm trying to find the word, but the Obote factor plays a lot into our cultural and political identity as Lao people. And I respect very much and understand this viewpoint amongst the Lao. We cannot run away from it. And as a Lao, I'm also very proud to know that, you know, we have had a leader.
You can't detach yourself from the history.
You cannot detach yourself from the history. However, we cannot live in the past. It's unfortunate that his term ended in 1985. NRM took over in 1986. And up to now, almost 40 years later, some of us were born in 1986 with the NRM government. However, we have had opportunities to get to where we are now, which we cannot deny. The situation back then was very volatile from the little history that I've read. However, under the NRM government, we also cannot deny. I know the president says it all the time, you know, you have peace, you have this. We are in an environment where the sky is literally the limit for you to be able to grow as much as you can. It is why I am able to come here and sit and say, okay, I have worked, you know, I've done businesses, I've done farming, I've also benefited, I've seen the goodness of farming. But now I want to show my people, I want to share my ideas with people. I am able to do that.
Have you tested the waters is it easy to beat the UPC in Oyam? Because definitely they will bring a candidate.
They definitely have a candidate. Like
Yes.
you said, the incumbent has been there for the last 15 years. And what I have to say to that is 15 years, 20 years, whatever, of the same person is almost time for a change. As a collective, we need to realize that we need to have relevant solutions to our problems of today.
Okay.
We are a little bit stuck in the past as the people of now. That is not to say we do not appreciate what role UPC played. I really appreciate the role that UPC played and Obote in raising up Uganda as a whole.
Yeah.
However, we can't deny that right now it's 2025. UPC was last in power in 1985. So it's a big gap. When you try to look at, okay, what has UPC done for the people of Oyam in all the years? Let me even just say since 2009, when Oyam became a district outside of a patch. What are the tangible achievements? It's almost, you'll struggle to see what is there. And where I think I fit in to fill that gap is being an NRM candidate is not a bad thing. It does not mean that we don't agree. As leaders, we should be able to have shared goals and common purpose for our people. It is not wrong for someone to support an NRM candidate just because they feel they owe something
to the UPC.
To the UPC for that voting. We have to look beyond the politics of party at this point, and we have to look at development. We have to look at leaders that are actually able to come in and deliver tangible outcomes and
for the good of the people.
For the good of the people. Whether you're NRM, whether you're UPC, if I win today, I'm not only serving NRM people, I'm serving everybody.
Okay. Whether
you're FDC, NUP, UPC, it doesn't matter. When I bring a program,
it's for all.
When I'm distributing seeds, I distribute everyone. I don't say only NRM people come and take. Even the UPC people come and take. Even the NUP people come and take. Even the FDC people. So we need to look beyond that if we want to prosper as a society and be able to do and pick leaders that have the common good.
In throwing your antennas, the kind of feedback you get, do you think people comply to your message?
Yes, very much so. And why I think so is because of the overwhelming support that I have gotten, especially being a first-time candidate and coming up with the 88% win in the primaries. When I stepped into Oyam and made my intentions clear to stand for this position, a lot of sentiments kept on coming to me from different people in the community, saying, we had given up on NRM in Oyam because we, for many years, we vote our flag bearers, but we just don't make it through. But you're giving us a renewed hope, and you're actually showing that your programs are affecting the people, the common man at village level.
That is your target?
Yes, that is my target. I want to deal with the grassroots, I want my programs to touch, the teacher that's teaching those 20 children in that village, the health worker, those are the people
that you target to really touch.
Yes, those are the people. And because of that difference they're seeing in me versus the previous candidates, I think that is why they are giving me the support that they are, and also the fact that I've not discriminated against party. So for me, it's very key for us as leaders within Oyam to just have a common goal. We should not always be fighting each other because, oh, you're in this party, I'm in this party. At the end of the day, we're all here to serve. We're here to serve the people. We're here to do what is best and bring development to our area. So can we have a common goal? What is the best to our people? Then we move together and we deliver to our people.
What is that much of brief about Jane Frances Acilo?
I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a businesswoman.
Okay.
And now I'm a politician. I'm also a philanthropist.
Okay.
Yes. Like, I think I briefly touched on it a bit earlier. I've been in different social organizations before I joined politics, through which I would serve different communities.
What would be your message to an Oyam voter watching you as we wind up?
I am very inspired to bring meaningful change to Oyam district with the knowledge that I have, and to be able to help people increase their household income levels, especially through farming. This is something I'm very passionate about. Should I win, obviously, my primary goal would be to address the challenges of some of the sectors that we have discussed during this conversation.
Yep.
And to be able to give it, my take and my input, and be able to put in what I can put in and do my part for the people. I want to be able to implement sustainable solutions to the problems that we're having. Something that can easily be taken on by someone at the grassroots. So this is my interest in Oyam. Then at a national level, I want to be a strong voice for Oyam within the parliament, to be able to advocate for policies that protect our interests as Oyam, given our unique challenges that we go through. So I want to be that voice for Oyam district.
Okay.
Yeah, and to harness opportunities for growth and the development of Oyam. And then also I would like to advocate for the youth and the women of Oyam, to uplift them and make sure that they are also involved in decision making of Oyam, and empower them with leadership, especially the boy child. Like I mentioned earlier, I felt they were a bit ignored.
Yeah.
So we need to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Her name is Jane Frances Acilo. She wants to swear in as MP, woman MP for Oyam district. She has the flag of the NRM. Now she has the hurdle of the general elections to see that she wins that. Our role is to give the platform to you, the voter, to listen, and her, the candidate, to say what her desires are. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Davis Kamukam and the whole team. Wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.